Let's get started. Welcome, dear listeners, to another episode of another lecture. Today we delve into the fascinating world of James del Talarico. Yes, you heard it right. We are exploring the intricacies of a modern-day political figure whose impact reverberates through Texas and beyond.
So, before we go too deep, I want to introduce ourselves. I'm Priyanka, a doctoral student with a keen interest in how human behavior influences economic decisions, and joining me is Professor Alexei, renowned for his sharp intellect and detailed approach.
To frame our discussion, it's important to understand who James del Talarico is. He is an American politician, a member of the Democratic Party, and has been serving in the Texas House of Representatives since 2018. His primary focus lies in education and healthcare reforms, areas where he has gained a reputation as a progressive voice.
Actually, I want to ask something simple first. Who is James del Talarico in terms of his educational background and career path?
Yes, a pertinent inquiry. Talarico's journey began in Round Rock, Texas. He holds a Bachelor of Arts in Government from the University of Texas at Austin and a Master of Education from Harvard University. His teaching experience, notably through Teach for America in San Antonio, provided him first-hand insights into educational challenges. Furthermore, we must consider his stance on Christian nationalism, a concept where religious influence merges with national identity, often at the expense of the core principles of Christianity.
I think the next thing we should talk about is his impact on current policies. Isn't it interesting how his work in education and healthcare has shaped Texas's legislative landscape?
Indeed, Priyanka. Talarico's influence is significant, particularly in advocating for equitable resources in public education and healthcare reforms. Historically, Texas has had its share of misunderstandings regarding progressive policies. Talarico's efforts are crucial in bridging these gaps, ensuring that policies reflect the needs of all Texans.
Can we maybe now look at some surprising aspects of his career? Like, his district walk during the campaign. That was quite the unusual strategy.
Certainly. James Talarico's decision to walk the full length of his district was indeed a remarkable endeavor. This campaign strategy demonstrated his commitment to connecting with constituents on a personal level. Additionally, his personal battle with type 1 diabetes, diagnosed in 2018, adds another layer to his advocacy, particularly in capping insulin costs.
That was helpful to think through, actually. So, what about his background and political journey? Can we highlight some key moments?
Certainly. Born in 1989 in Round Rock, Texas, his upbringing in a diverse community laid the foundation for his commitment to public service. Since 2018, he has served in the Texas House of Representatives, advocating for progressive policies. His tenure is marked by a dedication to education reform, healthcare, and social justice.
Thank you, Professor, for sharing that. It makes me wonder about the broader impact of his work. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's a connection to bigger questions here.
In fact, Priyanka, this brings us to the grand questions we must explore. One involves a hypothetical scenario. What if Talarico had not been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes? How might that have impacted his advocacy? The second question considers the implications of censorship, specifically the FCC's intervention in his scheduled interview. Lastly, we must examine the role of Christian nationalism in contemporary politics.
So, let's start with the first question. How did his diabetes diagnosis influence his legislative success, particularly with insulin costs?
Indeed, a pertinent question. Talarico's personal experience with diabetes undeniably fueled his determination to address the exorbitant cost of insulin. By capping insulin prices, he not only alleviated financial burdens for many Texans, but also set a precedent for other states. This intersection of personal experience and political advocacy underscores a significant influence on policy making.
What about the FCC's intervention in his interview? What if that hadn't happened? How might it have affected media freedom and political discourse?
Theoretically, had the FCC not intervened, the interview with Stephen Colbert could have proceeded, potentially amplifying Talarico's message on a national platform. This incident highlights the delicate balance between governmental oversight and media freedom. Such actions have far-reaching implications on political discourse and the public's access to diverse perspectives.
Let's consider this. How does Christian nationalism influence politics today, especially from Talarico's standpoint?
It's crucial to understand that Talarico's opposition to Christian nationalism is rooted in his interpretation of Christianity as a faith centered on love and service. By advocating for a separation of church and state, he challenges the conflation of religious beliefs with political agendas. This stance holds significant implications for the political landscape, advocating for a more inclusive approach that respects religious diversity.
So, yeah, moving on, I guess that kind of sums it up. His work and beliefs really do make a difference.
In conclusion, we have explored the multifaceted role of James del Talarico, from his advocacy in education and healthcare to his stance on Christian nationalism. We have examined 3 grand questions that reveal the depth of his influence and the complexities of his legislative journey. For those wishing to delve deeper, consider the broader impact of personal experiences on political careers. Thank you for joining us, and I encourage you to continue this intellectual exploration.
Thank you, Professor. That was enlightening.